Welcome back to our weekly newsletter on the economy, where we bring you the latest updates on business and economic trends. Today, I will take you on a journey through this week's newsletter. To receive our weekly newsletter and stay informed on the latest economic developments, simply follow our website in the description below. First up, in China, industrial enterprises are showing signs of recovery. For the first time in 2 months, they witnessed an increase in profits. Chinese industrial profits faced double-digit declines in the first 8 months, but the rate of decline has now slowed down, dropping from 15.5% contraction to 11.7% year-over-year decrease. Next, in the United States, the National Security Agency is gearing up for the future. They are establishing an artificial intelligence security center to tackle the growing role of AI in defense and intelligence. General Nakasone, the outgoing director, emphasizes the importance of maintaining the U.S. AI advantage. The center's mission is to safeguard AI models and foster collaboration with industry, international partners, and academia. Moving on to Estonia, their retail trade turnover has been on a downward trend for a year now. In August, the turnover of retail trade enterprises was 912 million euros. Compared to August 2022, turnover fell by 8% at constant prices. In Albania, the second quarter of 2022 GDP numbers are in, showing robust growth of 3.23%. This growth was primarily driven by construction, real estate, and education sectors, and though it was slightly hampered by a decline in the industrial sector. Shifting our focus globally, the World Bank has released its 2023 Global Poverty Update. The report reveals that global poverty rates have remained relatively stable, except for increases in South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa due to revisions. It also highlights the impact of COVID-19 on poverty and regional trends, with some regions experiencing setbacks while others are on the path to recovery. Let's talk about Europe now. In 2022, a whopping 72% of European youth aged 15 to 29 were not in the labor force but engaged in formal education. However, there are significant variations across EU countries. Gender differences persisted, with women's participation rates in formal education surpassing men's, and women were more likely to remain outside both education and the labor force. Back to local news, in Istanbul, retail prices saw a significant increase of 5.46% in September compared to the previous month. The annual inflation rate for the city was calculated at a staggering 73.18%. Lithuania's economy is showing some positive signs. The economic sentiment barometer increased from -7.2% to -6.2% in September compared to the August, indicating a slightly improved economic outlook. In the realm of European e-commerce, it's a story of resilience. Despite a shifting economic environment, the 2023 European e-commerce report reveals that the European B2C e-commerce market surged to a whopping 899 billion euros in 2022. This remarkable growth happened amidst economic challenges including the Russian-Ukraine conflict, inflation, and the ever-evolving technology landscape. While inflation-adjusted growth saw a dip in 2022, experts anticipate a strong recovery in 2023. The report also highlights the pressing need for sustainability and calls for policy changes to break down barriers hindering cross-border selling. Shifting our focus to Germany, there is a glimmer of optimism in the automotive industry. The business climate improved slightly, rising to -14.7 points in September. let's delve into some demographic shifts that are shaping labor markets in Central and Eastern Europe. With an aging population, projections indicate that a quarter of the population will be retirees by 2030. This poses significant challenges, including immigration and its impact on the labor force. The region is facing the need for productivity gains, potential increases in retirement ages, and the role of immigration to mitigate labor shortages. In Greece, the manufacturing sector is navigating some headwinds. In September, Greek manufacturers grappled with softer demand, resulting in sluggish growth in new orders and output. Furthermore, supply chain challenges stemming from severe weather events further impacted their performance. Employment growth remained weak, while input costs surged, leading firms to raise selling prices for the first time since April. Shifting our attention to Turkey, the latest consumer price index for September is making headlines. It reports an annual increase of staggering 61.53% with a noteworthy monthly rise. In the Netherlands, there is a concerning trend in the labor market. The gender pay gap has widened over the past 2 years, with men now earning an average of 7.4% more than women compared to 5% just 2 years ago. This disparity spans across all industries and levels, with even men in manual labor jobs experiencing faster wage growth than women with higher education. Interestingly, the only sector where women out-earn men is the media industry, but the difference is a mere 2.5%. Some news from Bulgaria. American companies have made their mark as the fourth largest foreign investors in the country, with a substantial investment totaling 5.5 billion leva. In comparison, Canadian investments amount to 1.3 billion leva. These investments have not only boosted the economy but also created thousands of jobs, with American companies contributing 40,000 jobs, while Canadian investors have added around 5,000. Turning our attention to Slovenia. There is a positive development in the business sentiment. For the second consecutive month, business sentiment in Slovenia witnessed an uptick in September. This marks a noteworthy turnaround after facing challenges during the first 7 months of the year. Meanwhile, in Belgium, the business confidence needle moved slightly higher, edging up by 0.6 points in September. These incremental shifts can often signal subtle shifts in economic outlook. Now, let's talk about an international collaboration that's making headlines. The OECD and G20 inclusive frameworks on BEPS has reached a significant milestone by adopting a multilateral instrument known as the Multilateral Convention to facilitate the implementation of the Pillar 2 subject to tax rule. This instrument is a crucial part of the two-pillar solution aimed at addressing tax challenges arising from digitalization. Its key function, allowing developing countries to impose taxes on specific cross-border intra-group payments if their corporate income tax rate falls below 9%. The instrument is now open for signature and aims to assist countries in implementing the subject to tax rule within their existing tax treaties. Over in the United Kingdom, there is a noteworthy shift in consumer confidence. The Consumer Confidence Index saw a promising 4-point increase, bringing it to minus 21 in September. Such changes can reflect evolving consumer sentiments and spending patterns. Now let's cross the Atlantic to Canada, where the merchandise trade landscape saw some significant shifts. In August, Canada's merchandise exports surged by a remarkable 5.7%, while imports also made a notable leap of 3.8%. These changes were particularly significant amid disruptions in port operation in British Columbia, causing the trade balance to shift from a deficit of $437 million in July. For the month of August, the EU and the euro area witnessed noteworthy fluctuations in industrial producer prices. Monthly increases of 0.6% and 0.5% were recorded, respectively. However, when viewed on an annual basis, prices witnessed a substantial drop of 11.5% in the EU and 10.5% in the euro area, and these price dynamics provide insights into the industrial landscape in these regions. Shifting our focus to labor markets, the latest data reveals that in the euro area, the unemployment rate stands at 6.4%, while in the broader European Union, it's slightly lower at 5.9%. Understanding these unemployment rates provides valuable insights into the employment landscape in these regions. In a comprehensive report from the International Monetary Fund, we delve into the critical role of managing inflation expectations in today's economic landscape. While headline inflation is showing signs of decline, core measures remain resilient and wage growth is on the rise. It's important to recognize that expectations about future inflation significantly influence present pricing and wage decisions. Recent shifts in the near-term inflation expectations are shaping the dynamics of inflation, especially in advanced economies. The influence of backward-looking learners who base their expectations on past experiences poses challenges to policy effectiveness, highlighting the need for clearer communication and policy enhancements. Taiwan's economic landscape has witnessed a notable development. In September, the nation's annual inflation rate climbed for the third consecutive month, reaching 2.93%. And this figure exceeded market expectations and marked the highest rate since January. Meanwhile, in Luxembourg, there is been a subtle shift in the inflation rate. In September, the rate decreased slightly to 4.1%. Understanding these changes helps us gauge the economic environment and its potential impact on various sectors. And lastly, let's focus on Austria, where the services sector has experienced a notable surge in employment, with a remarkable 2.2% increase in the first half of 2023. Additionally, wage growth in trade and services stood at 6.8% and 9.8% respectively. That wraps up our economy newsletter for today. We covered a wide range of topics. Stay informed and tuned in for more economic news in our upcoming episodes. Thank you for watching and remember to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates.